This Xbox plan might just be crazy enough to work. What is up, y'all, and welcome to Xbox Ready, my YouTube channel that is all about Xbox. I get on here multiple times a week to talk the latest Xbox news, rumors, games, accessories, pretty much anything I want to talk about, as long as it's about Xbox in some way. Now, over the weekend, I posted a video talking about how the future of Xbox is on this thing right here, the ROG Xbox Ally X. Specifically, the Xbox full screen experience, and also this pivot that Xbox is doing that blurs the line between console and PC gaming. The juiciest rumors surrounding the next-gen Xbox hardware lineup revolve around this idea that they're going to be more like gaming PCs with a console interface like you would experience with your Xbox Series X and S using that dashboard. That not only will you be able to play your Xbox games, but PC games as well from other launchers like Steam, Epic Game Store, Battle.net. And that future, while it sounds really cool, revolves very heavily around two things. Number one, Xbox Play Anywhere, and number two, the Xbox full screen experience that they introduced on these Xbox Ally handhelds. Xbox Play Anywhere, it sounds like a cool idea, but we've been hearing that Xbox, Microsoft, they've been having trouble getting these other publishers to play ball, and some of their first-party owned games aren't even supporting this feature. This is a bit of a problem because if the next Xbox is going to be this jack of all trades, it's going to be able to play games from all different launchers and studios and publishers. And on top of that, Xbox is trying to say, hey, yeah, you can play our games across console, PC, cloud. If you can't get the majority of the industry on board to support your vision, it's kind of dead in the water before they even launch Project Magnus, whatever it's going to be. But it seems that Valve's new hardware announcement just the other day lit a little bit of a fire under Xbox's ass, because it seems like they're really getting moving on Xbox Play Anywhere and the Xbox full screen experience. That was on full display in their latest Xbox partner preview. This was a mini Xbox showcase that you may have missed because it was all about their third-party partners. And much like in their own first-party showcase that they did back in June, where a lot of the games, if not all of them, were supported by Xbox Play Anywhere, that trend continued into this third-party showcase. All of the games showed off are going to be Xbox Play Anywhere titles. So if you buy a copy of Tides of Annihilation, congratulations, you can play it on PC or console, whatever suits your fancy. This is really important for a number of reasons. Number one, that's just a cool marketing special. Get 2 copies of the game for the price of 1. In an age where everything is getting super expensive, these companies are nickel and diming us for every little thing. That's really cool. And to a certain degree, it alleviates those growing pains that Microsoft is going through, shifting that focus from not only console, but also PC and cloud. Because let's just say Xbox consoles die tomorrow, like a lot of people are saying. Even if you buy one of these games on your Xbox, and all of a sudden your Xbox blew up and Microsoft said, we're not selling any more consoles, and all of the other Xboxes in the world blew up, your purchase would still be protected because you own the PC copy of that game too. All you need to do is log into the Xbox app, download it there. I don't know exactly how Project Magnus is gonna work. Like, is it gonna be playing Xbox console games or the PC versions of those Xbox games? With Play Anywhere, it doesn't really matter. And honestly, it would be kind of cool if you had the choice. The ability to say, I know this new Xbox is more like a PC, but I prefer to still play the console version of this game. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Usually these partner previews come and go, and I'm like, I'll get around to covering it. It's nothing really crazy was revealed, but at the very tail end of this show, they quietly announced that the Xbox full screen experience is making its way onto all gaming handheld PCs powered by Windows 11. That means I can go ahead and access the full screen experience on my base ROG Ally, which is significantly cheaper than the Xbox Ally X. Let's take a look at it together. Now, when I first powered on my Ally, already I could see some of the traces of that full screen experience. I got super excited because I was like, oh, hell yeah, it's already here. I could just jump right in. No, but that was not the case. My pin starts with the 5. And as you can see, the left trigger is not working on this. Of course, it can never be that easy. I had to go in and do a bunch of the same updates that I did when I went in for my Xbox Ally X. I had to update the Armory Crate app. I had to update Windows. I had to update the Xbox app. Once I did the Windows update, I was able to use the controller to input my pin, which already is a significant improvement over what I previously had to do, which was either use a keyboard or the touchscreen controller controls. Once you update the Xbox app, this little button appears in the top right corner asking you if you want to enter the Xbox full screen experience. Once you click on that, it takes you to the gaming section in your settings and says, hey, when you boot up the Xbox full screen experience, what do you want to be the home app? And of course, the only choice is Xbox. Go ahead and click that. And then you have the option to say, hey, I want to boot into the full screen experience every time I power this device up. Once I clicked these settings, restarted my Ally, it looked identical to what I would find on my Xbox Ally X. No longer do I see like a little startup taskbar at the bottom. My ROG Ally is now fully outfitted and geared towards playing and accessing my games, which is what it should have been all along. After I set everything up with a full screen experience on my Ally, I was really excited to jump in and see how it handled, and already it was a lot smoother, a lot snappier navigating the full screen experience than the old Windows desktop version of the Xbox PC app just running in handheld mode. And as you can see, I get access to a lot of those cool features that you would find on the Xbox Ally X, like if I hold the guide button down, I could pull up this little task switcher. But I ran into a few disappointments right off the bat. I'm like, okay, what do I have downloaded on this thing? Grounded 2? Okay, let me jump into Grounded 2. And they were like, no, well, first you got to update the game. Of course, I haven't jumped into this for a while now. That's understandable. Update the game, jump in, it syncs in my data, and then I'm trying to load a previous save, and I'm not able to. It keeps saying that I need to use a mouse and keyboard. Now, to be fair, this game did say at the beginning before I launched it that, you know, it's not compatible with handhelds, like they still need to tweak some things a little bit, but I couldn't even load up my save. And you can tell by my button mashing, I'm getting increasingly frustrated, so I'm like, you know what? Let me just pop on over to another game. Good old Hades, not even Hades 2, just straight up Zagreus and Hades. Play a little Hades, that goes smoothly. I might have to do a separate video comparing like the performance gains that I achieve while using the full screen experience that supposedly cuts down on, you know, the extraneous Windows background fluff. But yeah, the game was running smooth. That was fine. The more I played around with it though, the more I was like, I don't know if the full screen experience is ready quite yet for a wider rollout. I mean, this thing has been out for a month officially, and while we always knew it wasn't going to remain locked to the Xbox Ally handhelds, I feel like it could have used a little bit more time to bake and cook, maybe roll it out to just the Ally handhelds like the Ally X and the regular Ally before going to every other Windows powered handheld, because I was reminded about a lot of little frustrating things. Like here, I'm trying to use that cool task switcher, but for some reason, the right directional pad is not working. It registers the left input, the up and down on the D-pad, but not the right. Using the analog stick works perfectly fine, but I'm like, what's up with the right on the D-pad? What's going on here? And obviously, the big perk of using the full screen experience versus what we used to have is being able to navigate the whole interface using the controller, except for when I pop on over to Steam, I have to use the touch controls again to get by certain things like signing into my account. Once I'm in Steam, everything is all good, but there's just little blips and bumps that remind me that this is still a work in progress. And while they're small bumps, small inconveniences, somehow that makes them more frustrating while everything else is going really smoothly. This tells me pretty much everything I need to know about Microsoft's future ambitions. That the Xbox full screen experience, like we were talking in that previous video, is going to be something that Microsoft tries to take all the way. It's going to start with, sure, Windows powered handhelds, PCs, but you better believe that this thing, especially when you take into account all the work that they're pouring into it, on this huge investment of time and money that they're making, you better believe that this thing is going to be on any future Xbox hardware that comes out, Project Magnus, and anything else. And honestly, I'm not mad about it. The full screen experience is one of my favorite things about my Xbox Ally X. And yes, I understand that at its core, this is just the Xbox PC app, handheld mode, big picture mode. But at this point, I kind of prefer that direction, especially over what we have currently on the Xbox console dashboard that you see behind me just over my shoulder. This shit has turned cancerous, man, because it's like 80% ads, man. Just look at it. Look at it. You have my games, like my most recently used apps and those small tiles there, and then they just lobotomize me with these big ass tiles for ads. And all the things I actually want are like in this tiny little row up at the top, or have to pull up the guide button. And then you scroll down and even get to your useful groups that I made myself, like all my streaming apps and all that. I have to fight through more ads. Oh, up to 75% off for Black Friday on these games. There's obviously ads in the full screen experience, but I feel like it's a little bit more focused. I can get to what I want easier without having to wade through other stuff. Circling back to the Xbox partner preview, I was really looking forward to it because I'm a big Jennifer English fan. She has been on an absolute tear, making a name for herself in some of the most popular breakout games over the past couple of years. Shadowheart and Baldur's Gate 3, Mael and Claire Obscure Expedition 33. And not only was she narrating the show, she's also going to be the star in Tides of Annihilation. That is a crazy flex. Now, Tides of Annihilation, I feel like it has a lot of potential. The unfortunate thing is that at this point, I feel like a lot of people have Souls-like fatigue. There was this huge demand for these types of games after Elden Ring launched, and afterwards we were hit with a lot of solid games like that in that genre. Lords of the Fallen 1 and 2, Lies of P, and now I feel like people are starting to get a little bit tired of it, which is a shame because this doesn't even look like a full-on Souls-like game. Yes, there's like the same sort of music and styling, but there were points when I kind of felt like this reminds me of a boss fight in Final Fantasy 16. The frame rate on the stream for this game seemed a little bit unfortunate. I couldn't tell if that was lag from the stream or like the compressed video and audio going on, but it didn't look fantastic when it came to like a smooth locked frame rate. They really just showed us the whole boss fight. I thought they were just going to show us a little teaser, a little bit of the combat, and then move on. I feel like they blew their load a little bit. They shouldn't have shown the whole fight. I do enjoy what they're trying to achieve with the art style and the action, the pacing, the voice acting. I hope that this game doesn't get drowned out depending on when it releases, because although I wasn't blown away by the trailer, I still think this game has a lot of potential just based on the art style, the voice acting, the action sequences. We'll see how it goes once you get more information on it. Crowsworn kind of caught my eye. I do think that they're riding the coattails of Hollow Knight Silksong right now, especially that down air attack reminded me a lot of what we would see in Silksong. I do like the vibe and the styling of the art though. Music sounded good, which is a huge part of my enjoyment for these types of games. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this for sure. The Mound Omen of Cthulhu, definitely interested in this. I have tons of great memories playing Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2. I like co-op horror games. We haven't really gotten anything that's come anywhere close to Left 4 Dead. There was a brief period of time when I thought Back 4 Blood could fill that need for me and scratch that itch. But when it came out, I played it for a few months and totally fell off. I haven't even thought about that game until I saw The Mound. I get a lot of similar vibes with this game. Not so much like the non-stop FPS zombie action, but the co-op horror aspect of it. I think the psychological angle could really elevate this game. Like that clip of, oh, I think I'm shooting a monster zombie guy, but it turns out it's my teammate? What? Unfortunately, we will know whether this game will live or die right at launch, because those first impressions, especially with co-op multiplayer games, that's everything. If you don't grab people's attention right away, they're just going to move on to all the millions of other co-op multiplayer games out there. Overall, while nothing truly groundbreaking was shown off at the partner preview, it was nonetheless an important first step in Xbox's journey. This transition that they're making that puts them more in competition with Valve versus PlayStation. The full screen experience has already made its way off of Xbox Ally handhelds to other handhelds. Where's it gonna go next? Anyways, guys, that's all the Xbox stuff I have to talk about today. Thanks so much for joining me for another edition of Xbox Ready. If you made it this far into the video, consider subscribing. See you in the next one.